Okay, 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 okay. Yes, we're now live. We're now live. We're now live. Okay, so let's do this. I'm excited to be here. If you're excited, please just put in the chat box your favorite emojis. If you are excited to be in the meeting room, see, I'm so excited and I'm prepared. I've got my journal. I've got my journal here. I've got my pen because I'm going to glean a lot of insight in today's meeting. So if you're there and you are excited, you're thrilled to be in the meeting, I want to see your favorite emojis. Give it to me. Let it roll. Let it roll. I want to see your favorite. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I want to see those emojis coming in. I want to see those emojis coming in. Those on YouTube, you're not left out. Put in your favorite emojis. Join us in this meeting because it's going to be insightful. It's going to be enlightening. And we have a seasoned speaker today. We have someone that would be speaking to us. Honestly, it's gonna be wonderful. So, before we go to the meat, see all those ones we are doing is still preamble, it's still an introduction. The main meat is coming very, very hot, served fresh and hot on your table. So, but before we go in, before we start today's meet, before we, continue, I want to welcome every one of you joining us for this meeting. I want to congratulate you because indeed you are a powerful woman of purpose. For you to take deliberate, intentional steps to register for this meeting and join us, whether in the meeting room here, I mean in Zoom, or you're joining us on YouTube, you are intentional, you're deliberate about your life. And I want to congratulate you for being deliberate. Yes, that's the kind of those are the kind of women that we're raising, that we need in this generation. Women who are powerful, women who are purposeful, women who are intentional. They are making deliberate steps about their future. And I'm absolutely thrilled to welcome you to this transformative session. Yes, I'm thrilled to invite you to welcome you to this transformative session, Women and Wealth. Okay, so before I go to this, so can someone type in the other part of this webinar in the chat box? Let me be sure that I'm not the only one that knows it. I know we're talking about women and wealth, but women and wealth, what's our focus in today's meeting? Can someone help me with that in the chat box? Those on YouTube, you can also put that in. Can someone help us with what we're talking about? We're gonna get in today's webinar? Hmm? We're talking about women and wealth. What's happening? Okay, good, beautiful. Thank you. A financially independent mindset. Yes, so we are here because we want to cultivate a mindset of financial independence. You know, today's webinar is not just another webinar. I know you've been in webinars, you've been in different meetings. So today's webinar is not just another webinar. It's a divine appointment. We are not just going to talk about money. You know, in the hierarchy of wealth, when you talk about wealth creation, money is actually the least on that hierarchy. Money is the minimum level of wealth. And when we talk about wealth, so the first thing that comes to mind is money. But it's not just money. Do you know that even your relationship, the relationships you have could be I mean, they could bring wealth. They are currencies for wealth. Do you know that even your skill set, you might not have $1 million in your account, but your skill set could be the wealth that you have. So today we're not talking about money, we're talking about wealth. And I'm sure that some of your mindsets would be challenged. Yes, there's going to be mindset shift, there's going to be mindset change, there's going to be awakening of your vision, and there's going to be activation of your financial freedom. Yes. You know, you'll begin to see yourself in another light. And you might think, oh, I'm not yet financially independent, I'm not yet financially free. But what you're gonna get today is gonna activate something in you that will make you to start working towards your financial freedom. And, for many of us, maybe a cultural background, or for a lot of people, a number of people, because of the cultural background, the mindset surrounding money, wealth, women tend to, shrink, settle, just, they don't want to thrive. They just want to survive. Okay, let me just have, enough money to care for my needs, food on the plate. And but I want you to know that we are in a new era, that women are not just, rising to be spiritually powerful people. God wants us to be spiritually sound, spiritually powerful. But at the same time, He wants us to be financially intelligent, bold, independent. Now, what I mean independent, I'm not talking about a woman having money and then saying, "Okay, I'm independent. I'm going. I don't need a man. I don't need my husband." No, that's not what we're talking about. We just mean that, what we mean is that you are able to make financial decisions that would impact not just you, your family, and your generation. You are able to support, you are able to stand, you are able to do those things that would help you, that would help you become who you really, God really intends you to be, that would help you to be the kind of woman that can stand, that can support. You know, Today I was still having a conversation with my husband, and we're talking about, the role of women, and all that. And we live in an age where, for most economies, women have to, probably work to support their spouse, because, the income, the economic nosedive, things are not getting things are not getting better generally. But for we in the kingdom, things should and will get better. And so we live in an age where people need to, the women that used to be probably confined to the home to care for the children and do some other things, now have to, they have to go out. They have to work. They have to they have to they have to work on means to get finance to support the family. And it's a good thing. I mean, it has advantages, because many of us here, I mean, if you're a mother here, you can testify that when you have, some form of money or finance and you go shopping, most of the things you think of is your husband, your children, before you even think of getting maybe new things. The first thing you are thinking of, okay, what am I going to get for the house? What are the things we need? We need to plan, we need to pay for this, you are planning. And that is why your financial mindset is very important in the success of your family. And so tonight, I want your heart to be open. I want your mind to stretch, because whether you're starting from the scratch or you're scaling your next level, you are in the right room. You're born to thrive. You're not just going to spiritually thrive, you're going to economically thrive. So get ready to learn, to grow, to take bold steps. We are cultivating not just a mindset, but a lifestyle, a movement. And so, without much ado, Without much ado, I'm going to welcome the speaker for tonight's meeting. Wherever you're joining us from, I want you to join us as we share a bow, and then she will join us shortly. And Can you see that now? Can you see that? Can you see that now? Can you see my screen? Okay.
Jennifer Chinenyewa Imobadi, fondly called the Extraordinary Woman, a distinguished international women development consultant and the visionary founder of the Extraordinary Woman Academy, a leading women development organization in Africa. Jennifer's unwavering passion is to empower women to live their best lives. Through her expertise in coaching and trainings, she guides and helps women achieve personal transformation. Jennifer specializes in helping women with a burning desire to make impact but are scared, in doubt, and confused to find their voice of relevance, become impactful by structuring, sharing their message, and building a platform for the communication of their message toward profitability, transformation of their audience, and wealth creation. She also works with organizations and nations to help them develop progressive training modules, programs, curriculums, policies, and strategies that develop and transform women into nation builders. She is an exceptional project manager known for integrity and excellence, with human capacity development projects as her core niche. Jennifer is also a published author and a sought-after global transformational speaker. She is deeply committed to her faith, serving as a pastor alongside her husband, Pastor Emmanuel Obadi, at the Dynasty of Glory International Church. Originally from Owa in Mbitolu, Jennifer was born into the family of the late Deacon Michael Wagogo and Deaconess Lois. She is celebrated as an award-winning woman of strength. Jennifer's impact reaches beyond her immediate family. She is the convener of the Extraordinary Woman Conference, hosting the annual Skill Up Woman program, and many more. She is happily married to her backbone, Pastor Emmanuel Obadi, and they are blessed with 2 biological children and many others touched by their commitment to transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, with a clapping and standing ovation, join me as I make welcome Mrs. Jennifer Chinenyewa Imobadi. Jennifer Chinenyewa Imobadi, fondly called the Extraordinary Woman, a distinguished international women development consultant and the visionary founder of the Extraordinary Woman Academy, a leading women development organization in Africa. Jennifer's unwavering passion is to empower women to live their best lives. Through her expertise in coaching and trainings, she guides and helps women achieve personal transformation. Jennifer specializes in helping women with a burning desire to make impact but are scared, in doubt, and confused to find their voice of relevance, become impactful by structuring, sharing their message, and building a platform for the communication of their message toward profitability, transformation of their audience, and wealth creation. She also works with organizations and nations to help them develop progressive training modules, programs, curriculums, policies, and strategies that develop and transform women into nation builders. She is an exceptional project manager known for integrity and excellence, with human capacity development projects as her core niche. Jennifer is also a published author and a sought-after global transformational speaker. She is deeply committed to her faith, serving as a pastor alongside her husband, Pastor Emmanuel Obadi, at the Dynasty of Glory International Church. Originally from Owa in Mbitolu, Jennifer was born into the family of the late Deacon Michael Wagogo and Deaconess Lois. She is celebrated as an award-winning woman of strength. Jennifer's impact reaches beyond her immediate family. She is the convener of the Extraordinary Woman Conference, hosting the annual Skill Up Woman program, and many more. She is happily married to her backbone, Pastor Emmanuel Obadi, and they are blessed with 2 biological children and many others touched by their commitment to transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, with a clapping and standing ovation, join me as I make welcome Mrs. Jennifer Chinenyenwa Imobadi. Jennifer Chinenyenwa Imobadi, fondly called the Extraordinary Woman, a distinguished international women development consultant and the visionary founder of the Extraordinary Woman Academy, a leading women development organization in Africa. Jennifer's unwavering passion is to empower women to live their best lives. Through her expertise in coaching and trainings, she guides and helps women achieve personal transformation. Jennifer specializes in helping women with a burning desire to make impact but are scared, in doubt, and confused to find their voice of relevance, become impactful by structuring, sharing their message, and building a platform for the communication of their message toward profitability, transformation of their audience, and wealth creation. She also works with organizations and nations to help them develop progressive training modules, programs, curriculums, policies, and strategies that develop and transform women into nation builders. She is an exceptional project manager known for integrity and excellence, with human capacity development projects as her core niche. Jennifer is also a published author and a sought-after global transformational speaker. She is deeply committed to her faith, serving as a pastor alongside her husband, Pastor Emmanuel Obadi, at the Dynasty of Glory International Church. Originally from Owa in Mbitolu, Jennifer was born into the family of the late Deacon Michael Wadugo and Deaconess Lois. She is celebrated as an award-winning woman of strength. Jennifer's impact reaches beyond her immediate family. She is the convener of the Extraordinary Woman Conference, hosting the annual Skill Up Woman program, and many more. She is happily married to her backbone, Pastor Emmanuel Obadi, and they are blessed with 2 biological children and many others touched by their commitment to transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, with a clapping and standing ovation, join me as I make welcome Mrs. Jennifer Chinenyenwa Imobadi.
Very much, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We can hear you. I can hear you. Can I go ahead? Okay. So hi everybody. Hello, good it's evening in my time. Good evening. I don't know what time it is where you are. So good evening, good afternoon. I am sincerely sorry. I sincerely apologize for joining in late. It's usually not in my manner or in my habit to do. So please, can you hear me? Confirm that you can hear me. Let me know. Just before I proceed, can you hear me? Is the sound clear?
Yes, you are clear.
Okay, thank you very much. So I want to really and deeply apologize for joining in late. It's usually not in my manner to do that, but for some reason I can't really. Okay, thank you very much. I can't just say what's happened and all of that, but I'm glad that I'm finally here and then we are able to do this. Just before I go into my session, I just want to confirm, Dr. Joy, how many minutes do I have? I know that we already have so much time spent so that I am able to stay within time. So how many minutes? Please let me know. Yes, please. Please let me know how many minutes. So just before we go ahead, right? Thank you.
You
Thank you
can
very
check your
much. Just before,
chart. Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
All right. So just before we go ahead, I want to quickly say this that it is very important that you understand that finance is not a conversation that you can even avoid as a woman, right? So I want to start off by saying that, and I want to start off by saying that I need you to really pay keen attention tonight because it's really going to be so much. There's going to be so much value. The objective of my session, just to help you, is that by the end of this session, you're going to be able to identify the loopholes, why you're not able to hit your financial goals, what is really causing it, how you can be able to grow your finance as a woman, right? So I really need you to pay attention. For some of us, tonight is going to really be that game changer for me, right? It's going to be that game changer for me. It's going to be that game changer for you. And I really want you to decide and make up your mind and say that tonight is going to be that game changer for you. So we're going to go straight into what we have for today, cultivating the right financial mindset. We are going to try to broaden the scope a little and go beyond the mindset and get into other things that can help us build our finances as women. So having said that, I would want to start off by saying that your goal, when we talk about finance, your goal as a woman should not just be to make money. Your goal should be to create wealth. Your goal should be to build wealth. Most times, people are focused on money. I just want to make money. Money is part of wealth creation, but you need to look at the larger picture. That just beyond having paper, that you're creating wealth, which means that you're able to have other currencies that you can transact with beyond money. Money is not the only currency that you can transact with when you come to the game of wealth creation. When we start talking about finance, money is one of the instruments, but sadly, what we have today is that a lot of people focus on money, on just having the tender, the legal tender of whatever country it is that you live in, or even having a generally accepted, legal tender in a lot of countries. But you need to know that your plan, your vision, your goal, your drive, your desire should be just beyond making money and have to get into wealth creation. And so the number one step is intentionality. I want to ask you a question, right? When you want to work on, let's say for example, when you're hungry and you're hungry about something, do you play around having to get something to eat? Do you play around that? I'm very sure that you don't. So you're hungry and you see that you're hungry, you really take it serious, you go look for something that you want to eat, you go grab something and you eat. You're very intentional about that. And that is the same way it has to deal when it has to do when it comes to money and when it comes to wealth creation, right? You have to be intentional about it. You can't just say you're hungry and just say, "Oh, I'm really hungry, shall." Well, my dear, my darling, you're not hungry. Because if you're hungry, you're going to move. And it's going to be beyond just, no. When you want something so bad, you don't treat it passively. You see how actively involved you get. Sometimes you can even go as far as, so where can I buy food? Where, like you can see the drive. Like I really want this thing. I need to eat. If I don't eat, I don't know if I'm going to faint. Right? So you need to understand that there has to be that intentionality, hunger, and drive. I've come to realize that the reason why a lot of women are not financially stable and capable is because somehow there is just this mindset of a bailout system. There is just this mindset that, I'm going to maybe get married. Oh, my husband is going to maybe fund me. Oh, this one is going to. You have to get to the point where you take 101% responsibility for your finance. Like, no one is coming for me. No one is going to bail me out. Like, I determine how much it is that I'm going to make. I determine whatever it is that is going to be happening with me when it has to do with my finance. But when you keep having the mindset, maybe you came from a rich home, so mommy is there, dad is there. While it's amazing to have all of the support that you're going to start with, you have to get to the point where you take responsibility. And when I mean responsibility, I mean 101. 100 is too small, like 101. You see that? So you don't leave your financial growth, prowess, prosperity, advancement to anybody, not even your spouse. Nobody. You have to get to the point where you take 100% responsibility and tell yourself, you know what, girl, I got to do this, right? So the first point is hunger, intentionality. How hungry are you? If you're hungry, you're going to start creating wealth. If you're hungry, you're going to start thinking. If you're hungry, you're going to stop lounging so much. If you're hungry, you're going to start developing yourself and building the right skills. If you're hungry, you're going to know that there are certain things that I can't afford to use my time to do. And so I can no longer spend my time on things that do not serve me. When you're hungry, you go get food. You don't wait. That kind of hunger, you don't use to wait to be served. And even when you're to be served and someone is wasting time with serving you, the way you are calling for the person, you're like, can you be fast? What's delaying with this food? Right? So the first thing is the intentionality, the hunger, and the drive, right? The next thing is, a lot of people do not know this about wealth creation, right? But I'm going to have to share this with you. You do not focus on making money, as in having paper. You focus on becoming. So I want to ask you, who are you and who are you becoming? People joke with personal development. People think personal development is something that we play with, all these personal development things, all this personal development. Can we just share it? See. Let me say this to you. The amount you're going to earn, whatever it is, the volume, the magnitude of wealth creation that you're going to build or create is directly proportional to who you are. That's it. Is directly proportional to who you are. So who are you? Who are you becoming? What kind of a person are you becoming? Really, who are you? Because you cannot do so much outside. Like everything involves you now. Is it not you that is going to work? Is it not your brain that you're going to use? Except in some sort of charity work or charity funding that you expect, hey, it's all right. And that kind of charity funding don't also help people to create wealth. Even when you get a funding out of charity, you still need to be able to be a person that can use that funding right. So the question for you today is, who are you and who are you becoming? You want to be able to get to the point where you can afford certain things 5 years from now, 10 years from now. The person you're becoming, is it in alignment? Can you really afford to earn in that capacity, considering the person that you're becoming? Because who you're becoming is proportional to the level of value that you're going to create or deliver. You cannot do so much outside of you. So rather than pursue money up and down, become the same job or skill or service that someone is rendering for $2, for example. Another person in that niche is rendering it for $2 million. Now, they most likely, definitely, will not be rendering the same service because there has been a process of becoming that has transformed the person who is charging a $2 million that this other person who is charging a $2 cannot deliver, because they do not have that knowledge. They've not become that person. So I want to ask you, who are you becoming? And in the process and journey of becoming, you must learn to think long term. 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, 5 years from now, go create your life and stop expecting that some sort of magic is going to happen. Create your life. Like, sit down and know that it is your responsibility to create your life. You're not just going to wake up one day and you're going to walk in. No, make sure that you're submitting yourself to the process that is going to transform you into that woman that can command certain kind of figures. And let me say this. You know why the process of becoming is important? Being a women development consultant, I work full time with women. Like, that's literally what I do. And being a women development consultant, I've come to realize that money does not solve the problem of women alone. See, I have I have women who are in command of finance, women who earn in currencies that, like, they are earning so well, women who have money. I've interacted with some of them and I work with some of them. These women have money, but still they have not become. They lack satisfaction, they have displeasure, they lack fulfillment. They still know that they lose themselves easily. You see that? You see that? Because it is not just money you need. There are so many other things that you need. That is why you need to submit yourself to the process of becoming. Because when you submit yourself to the process of becoming, there are a whole lot of other things that you're going to learn, that by the time you start to command or handle certain levels of finance, you would be a person that is fit for where you are. You can't be commanding certain level of finance and getting to certain level and you don't have emotional intelligence. You don't have. So who are you becoming? You don't have even control on how you spend your money. It's part of becoming. You don't have an identity. So you can literally have money, but there is little or nothing that you can do, like so much that you can do for yourself. You still have deep sense of unfulfillment. You still have deep sense of deep. What's the word? Now I'm looking for the perfect and the best word for it. You still have that deep satisfaction that you're yearning for. Have you not seen women who are funders? Like, they are the ones bankrolling their families, and yet some of these women still die in domestic violence. Have you asked yourself why? Now, they didn't become. Becoming is an entire process of overhauling and developing yourself. So I want to ask you, who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? That by the time you can earn certain amount, you're able to deal with the pressure that comes with earning such. You're able to deal with the tongue lash and the backlash that comes with that. You're able to deal with the blackmails, even from family members that want to come and blackmail. Yeah, you have money, you don't want to help us. You're able to deal with all of these things. So who are you becoming, right? That's a very important question that you would have to answer and settle with yourself tonight. And then the next is mindset. Our core conversation for tonight, mindset. Cultivating the right financial mindset. If you have the wrong mindset about money, eh? Otilo, like, it's finished. Forget it. Like, forget about it. Money starts with the right mindset. There are certain persons who have money but do not have the mindset that can handle money. There are certain persons who have money, but there are still certain things that they cannot do. You still see them. Let me share this with ours. I was reading a story sometime, I think last week or so. I can't quite remember now. I'll place it. And then I was reading this story on social media about a woman who was talking about her husband. And she says they live in Nigeria. So she says that her husband earns about 600 or 700,000. I can't quite place the exact figure right now. And so that's what her husband earns. And then she said that there are certain things they can't still afford. Like, it's so bad, like so bad that the children still go to public schools. They still live. There's what we call face me, I face you in Nigeria, where you have like 15 people, sometimes even 20 people, and sometimes not 20 people, 20 families. Yeah, 20 families sharing. Living in a place, they just get a room, and then they have a general toilet and bathroom where they get to use. You can't imagine that. So this guy is earning this amount of money, and then there are certain things that they cannot still buy. She doesn't use protein to cook. In fact, she says that for any time you see protein in the food, she had to find a way to smuggle her way. Is that bad? But the guy is earning, a person earning 700, 600 or 700K in Nigeria is okay. He has to do more, but he's not at a so much bad place. At least he can be able to afford the basics for the family. But yet, he doesn't have the mindset. And so the children are still living, the family, all of them are still living like. Mindset is a lot. Mindset will determine how much you're going to grow into. Do you know that there are certain people that are professionals that cannot charge their worth? They are afraid of charging. Like, they're afraid of putting a price. It's mindset. It's a mindset issue. It's a mindset problem. Something just tell them in their mind, oh, come back. And let me tell you how bad mindset is. Mindset is so bad that if you by mistake waka, jump, and enter inside a certain level of finance, and you do not have the required mindset for that level, somehow the person gets to drop back to the mindset that they can carry. It's that bad. That is why you can't afford to joke with working on your mind. Having the right mindset about money even starts with telling yourself that money is not your Lord. And that's why you can't worship money. And that's why you can't live for money alone. That's why there are greater causes that you can live for in your life aside money. So you need to understand that mindset is a whole lot. Mindset is a game changer. If you don't have the right mindset, you can't even make money. You need the right mindset to make money. If you don't work on your mindset, I tell you, financial prosperity, independence, capacity, whatever you want to call it, begins with you having the right mindset. So I want to ask you tonight, what mindset do you have about money? Some people have mindset that they can't let go of what is in their hand. It's a bad money mindset. Very bad. Because they're afraid, am I going to get the next one? And they watch how they just run around in circles and not able to break certain points and get into certain points financially. I'm telling you, there are certain persons that their mindset will never allow them step into certain realms financially. Like, never. If they try to make a move, their mindset will draw them back. The problem is not the realms and whether the realms or the opportunities are bound. They are bound, but their mindset cannot get them. They can't get there because they have the wrong mindset. In this same, for example, in Nigeria, people complain, oh, there's no money, there's no money, there's no money. Oh, this one, that one, that one. In that same country where people complain there's no money, there are people that are building houses every other day. There are people that are buying cars every other day. That, like, are we in different Nigeria? It's not the same country. So you have to start with fixing your money mindset. You have to start with knowing that you can actually get to the point where you earn, and you earn so well. You have to get to the point where you're telling yourself, money is not your God. Money is not your Lord. Money is a tool and it works for you. And let me say this. People who pursue money are always in an endless circle of pursuing money. Somehow they never find it. Like, really. People who all their life. Have you not seen it? Look around. I don't know people around you, even some parents used to know when you used to grow up, all they did, they go out in the morning, they're hustling, like the hustle bustle. The hustle is real. Like, it's so real. They're hustling, 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 hustling. How far? Years pass and they continue to hustle. They cannot get into it because, no, you attract money. The same way you attract a lot of things in life, you attract it. I want to ask you, if there is a guy who wants to marry you, and this guy is pressuring you, like, the word is that the guy is a pest. He's all over you. He's acting like that. Like, will you marry the person? Would you be running away? That's how it is with money. Hanky panky, the guy is always, he sees you with someone, he's wondering, no, 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 it should only be him that you're speaking with. What's happening? Would you not run? So you must learn to cultivate the right mindset. I want you to go back and sit back. I've shared with you some of the wrong money mindset. Go back and sit back and ask yourself, which mindsets do I have about finance that is bad, that I need to work on? Some people are afraid that they can never get to a certain level. Some people are afraid that they can never earn certain figures. Some people think that making money is a scam. Some people see certain people who have real money, like people who have built well, that they must have done something bad. and you want to build, you cannot now because something tells you that it's only legal money that is to come like that. How do you plan to get it? Not possible. Forget about it. Until you go and work on your mindset. So mindset is very important. So let me run because we do not have so much time tonight. The next is value and problem solving. Hmm. Can you stop being emotional about money and get to sit down and ask yourself some real questions? Why do you think? Because, for example, some of you start off business, and let me say this: if you're rushing to start off business because you're running away from a 9 to 5, newsflash, you're about to get into a 24/7 work schedule. So, you want to start a new business, you reach out to all your family members, friends, and you say, hey, I'm starting business, so people should patronize me, oh, and they don't patronize you, start to feel bad. See, let me tell you, money will only move in the direction of value. Yes, let that continue to ring in your head. Not just certain kind of money move in the direction of certain kind of value. What this means is that the more value you can offer, the more value that you can bring to the table, the more opportunities you have to make more money. The difference between a professional and an amateur is that a professional is serving certain category of people. The professional has results. The professional goes to the work and delivers results. But a non-professional, oh, you're not sure of results. He has to continue serving a certain set of people because these other guys cannot come because they do not see value. What value do you have? What problem are you solving that is going to make money move from my pocket to your pocket? Stop being emotional and sentimental. We're not just going to buy from you because you started business. We're not just going to buy from you because you started there. We're not just going to promote you at work because you joined us. Stop making things about yourself. Ask yourself question, what exactly am I offering this person? What exactly am I offering these people? What quality of value? Remember, value is in order, is in different stages and in different volumes. The more the quality, the more what you can do, the more what you can get in return, the more reward you can get, the more you can serve certain people. And of course, value positioning. Are you positioning your value? Or you are still waiting that we are going to come and find you? My dear, it is the person that is always in our faces that we're going to remember. It is the staff that is always serious, that is always showing up, that is always showing that we are going to see that is due for promotion. So you have to know this. Especially women, we're trying to share a lot. I don't really want people to say I'm too loud. I don't want them to say I'm doing too much. Really. Ha. You have to do too much. Oh. You have to do. Okay, so let me start to run. And then evolution, innovation, and knowledge. Evolution, innovation, and knowledge. You have to be able to evolve. If you're not evolved, you're not going to catch up with time. For example, a lot of things are changing. We're gradually getting into a mad tech-driven age. I should say, I'm not really techy. Oh, you're joking. Like you're joking. Sure, you know. You have to be able to innovate. How do you take that to your Omo business? How do you take that to your hair business? How do you innovate it, repackage it in a way that it appeals to the ever-changing trends and ever-changing world? You have to constantly be into the game of innovation. And then knowledge. You need knowledge. Don't ever be in the WhatsApp group of those that say, how much what do they pay me? Why are they charging me? How much is that? What are they going to teach? Don't try it, oh. Don't try it. Because why? Paying for knowledge helps you compress time, compress energy, compress resources, and a whole lot. You must learn to go for knowledge. Constantly go for knowledge. What point am I now? What's the next knowledge that I need to scale? Learn to pay. Learn to pay for knowledge. Okay, and then sell. I'm trying to rush because of our time. Sell. If you're an employee, you're selling your time, you're selling your services rather, you're selling yourself. Some of us don't know how to sell ourselves as employees. If you're an employer, you're selling your products, you're selling your services, There is no shyness about selling. Like, you have to sell. There is no shyness about it. You must learn to sell. Like, sell. Go and learn how to sell. Selling is not for, you're a business owner, you're here. Selling is not for certain people say, oh, let me hire a salesperson. You're the number one and chief marketing and sales officer of your business. You have to learn how to sell. Some of us run away from it. Any opportunity you have that is going to put you out on the spot and give you the ability to grow your sales and marketing capacity and skill set, please grab it. If you don't know how to sell, it is one thing to know the skill, and it's another thing to sell the skill. They are two different things. You must learn how to sell. And then the last one I'm going to share with us is having the right money culture, the right money habits, which are savings, investments. You can't be spending all your money buying hair. You can't be spending all your money buying clothes. You can't be spending all your money buying jewelries. You can't be spending all your money, oh, you don't have any savings. You don't have, and don't say, oh, I'm not saving because no, even if it's a habit of you take out the smallest unit and say, I want to put this out. It might not do so much, but I'm building a habit intentionally. It might not be that the money is going to, amount to so much like that, but I'm intentionally building a habit. And then asking the right questions. Where can I put my money? There is stocks where you can invest, but you have to be very careful when it has to be do with investment. Don't go and put double money doubling scheme and say invest it. If you put this amount today, you get 10x of it tomorrow. Are you playing or something? Like, are you playing? Don't do that. Don't do that. Real investment requires patience. So learn to be patient. There's treasury bill, but of course, that's as your finance begin to grow and all of those. So there are so many ways. Ask the right. I'm not an investment expert, so I'm not going to tell you put your money inside this one or put your money inside that one, so that tomorrow you're not come and say, we came for EmpowerHer Starlight webinar, oh, and this lady told no, I'm not going to do any of those. But learn to ask the right questions. Ask the right questions. Where can I put my money? Where can I invest my money and save? Have a record, have a track record of documenting your finance. And that is why we have a book, Women Money Journal. Let me just show you. This is a finance book that helps every woman to be able to, you can see that one, this is my own copy. You can see the year on it. To be able to keep track of our finances, grow her finances, because sometimes we don't even know how much we earn. We don't even know where our money go to. We don't even have any plan for our money. So when it comes, it just goes like that. So this book helps you. It's a journal, actually. It helps you to sit down, plan your money, document your money, put it together, and know where your money is going to. Have some sort of financial discipline, right? So I want to wrap up by saying that I'll need you to go back today and sit back and ask yourself and say, which of these things am I not doing right? What am I not earning in a certain way? Does it mean that I need to increase my value? Does it mean that I need to work on my mindset and change my mindset? Am I really becoming the kind of money that I want to handle? Have I become the person that can handle that money? Have I become the person that can attract and command that money? Am I able to sell? Or am I sitting in with, oh, I'm shy, I can't sell, and all of those things? So it's not just for you to come for this webinar and then you go back and you remain the same. The goal is that you go back and you sit down and you ask yourself, what areas do I need to work on? Okay. So I'm going to be taking some questions in a few minutes. If you have any question, this is the time. My 30 minutes, I think I have just like 5 minutes. So if you have any question, please go ahead and ask. You can just raise your hand or you can put it in the chat. Okay, so any question?
Yeah, we have a couple of questions. Just a minute, and I would read the questions out. So I can. Would you like me to read it out like one after the other, like you address it individually, or in? Would that be fine? Okay. So thank
Yes,
you very
that's
much.
fine.
Thank you very much. I'll just okay, so we have the first question here. So yeah, I'm coming. Can you see me? Okay, just a minute. So first, before we go to the questions, I want to start. I want to see. I want us to start by, thanking and appreciating our speaker for today. I'm sure you've learned a couple of things. You've picked out one or two things. There are some things that are highlighted to you. I mean, I have some things noted in my journal just here, and I'm sure it's the same for you. So if you really, you got a lot of things, you learned one or two things, I want you to put it up in the chat box as we continue in the meeting. So I have a question here, and the first question is, sorry, I hope I don't, okay, yes. So somebody has asked, what business can I start with little or no capital and still experience financial success greatly? So what business can I start with little or no capital and still experience financial success? So can you help us, ma'am?
Okay, so that's a very recurring question that you'll always get when it has to do with finance. I want to say this. In the current time that we are in, there are so many business that you can start, right, with little or no capital, like a lot of them. I might not be able to list all of them, itemize them one after the other. For example, you can start off with selling a skill or a service. You can start off with selling a skill or a service. If you're selling a skill or a service, you don't need any money as a startup. You don't need to rent a shop. You don't need to say I'm going to go and get a shop. You're not no. You're just selling your skill. So you're focusing on rather how do I get my right audience and how do I sell these skills. For example, let's say you do something like freelancing, editing, and all of those. So whatever skill you have, you're able to sell out on your skills. There are lots of businesses you can also start with little or no capital. You can do drop shipping business. If the person is in Nigeria, you can go to certain major markets depending on your location. When you go to these major markets, there are some persons who have the goods. They don't have These people have so much money, they don't have the time. Like they're not even begging you, they're wholesale dealers. And you go to them, you strike a deal, and you say, oh, I want to be able to do this and do that. You're not like the middleman. Nobody is meeting them. You go out there, you take good pictures of those products, you put it out on the internet, you run an advert on it, you give them alarming prices, you make irresistible offer to them, and then it's not going to be magic. You also need to understand the place of process. If you're just starting out, you have to build chaos. People have to know you, they have to like you, they have to trust you. And that is why the best time you should have started was yesterday, and another best time is today. Because you need patience, because you're going to grow on a path and on a journey. So there are so many businesses you can start. I do not know how much that you have, or the things that you can do, but right now there are so many businesses that you can start if you're able to sit down and you're able to think. The question now becomes asking the right questions. What is the business? Where are the people? I hope you know that when you go to certain markets, those retailers bought from somebody, and sometimes the people they bought from somebody, and all of that. And if you go to major locations in what is it called, Nigeria, like Onitsha, Aba, Abia State, you're going to find a lot of dealers that don't have time to. They'll tell you which social media, which online, come and do what. What am I doing there? Please, like customers are pursuing them. Like they're not looking for customers. These guys have been in business for years. They have big warehouses. They have voice. Like your problem and their problem is not the same category. It's not the same color. So you now begin to ask yourself, the answer to that question is think. There is so much, like so much that you're able to do, but you have to be able to start thinking. So I hope I've been able to answer that.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Miss Jennifer. Thank you very much for that. I also want to say that I know now there are opportunities like virtual assistant. Yeah, I know recently I listened to someone. I mean, now she has a virtual assistance business. Like she's training virtual assistants So she has like an organization. I'm not so sure of the details, but she has like an organization where she's coaching, or will I say developing and training virtual assistants, and then she's sourcing them out to people. And so, and you can work for someone in maybe in the US, you can work for someone in Canada, you can work for someone in UK while living in Nigeria. And it's just more of maybe just doing the admin. Probably, maybe you can even have your maybe morning work, and in the evening you can do that work. So that is also one of the things you can think of. Virtual assistants is an increasing, is an area that is increasing now. So it's something you can look into. You can even go on LinkedIn. I think recently I saw a profile of someone. You can go on LinkedIn. You can get virtual assistants. Those are some of the things that you can consider doing to to increase your income. And let me just touch base with what Miss Jennifer said during the meeting. She talked about process, and I love that so much. The process of who you are becoming. You can't rush the process. If you want to be someone that would earn millions or millions of dollars, you have to become that person. And you have to, it begins with self-awareness, knowing who you currently are and who you ought to be. And it's a process of growth. Now, we're doing this webinar. I'm very sure that you won't wake up tomorrow becoming a billionaire. It's not going to be the case. You won't wake up tomorrow being a billionaire. You have to do something. I believe this, one of the reasons why we're having this webinar is to activate you, to get you thinking, to get you, you know, searching within and outside. What are the resources around me that I can leverage on? What can I do? What can I work on to become that person that can handle that money? So, hope nobody's gonna leave this meeting thinking they're gonna wake up tomorrow with millions in your account. It's definitely not gonna happen. You have to do the work. You have to become that person that can undo that. And thank you very much. We have another question here. What is your advice on investing capital into a business you're not sure of?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Don't try
Okay.
it. Like how? How do you put money inside what you don't know? Just get ready to lose the money.
Hmm.
Before you put money into any business, the first point, and that is why I have a challenge with people who think they can just finish school and they start entrepreneurship. Go and work. Have some sort of experience. Go and learn. Now you're shortening your time because it's just like you're using another person's business to do trial and error.
Hmm.
Not like you're literally going to do nonsense, but you know that every month your money is going to be paid, and then you're undergoing training, you're still earning, you're learning how things work. Go and work and learn. Don't never put money inside what you don't know. Before you put money into a thing, you must research about it. You must learn about how do you plan to run the business now. If you just go and start, what is raining now is hair. Let me buy hair. You go and carry hair. You go and put money. You go and buy. You don't know how to maintain hair. You don't know how to do wigging. You don't know any of those. You don't know the hairs that are original. You don't know the hairs that are blend. You don't even know the business of hair. You don't understand the selling part. Like how? The first point of call before getting into any business is learning. And sometimes it's not like you're not going to learn all, but at least have a level of knowledge. There are still things you will learn as you go on the business. You will make mistakes. You're going to fail sometimes. You're going to learn. But you need basic. You can't be going into something you're totally ignorant about. No, no.
Hmm. Hmm.
Is that you go and sit down and you learn.
Hmm. Thank you very much, Miss Jennifer, for that. That was really wonderful. As you were saying that, I just remembered a colleague, I mean, a couple of days ago, we're having a discussion, like we're having a chat at work, and the colleague said, he had worked in another setting where he bought into he bought into a clinic, like the way the health system here is run, like you can have your clinic, you can buy into a clinic, right? And then he was talking that he bought into a clinic, and then after a couple of years the clinic, like closed down. So
Yeah,
so he
it's
was
going to close
advising
down
me,
because what
we were
knowledge is he
talking.
going to run the clinic? Does he
See,
know how to? Does he know purchasing? Does he know the human resource management part? Does he know the customer acquisition? What does he know that he needs? And
exactly,
you just buy it
exactly.
on, okay, it will close. Just
Exactly,
give it time.
exactly, exactly. And he made a statement. He said, and he made a statement like, if you're going to get into a business, And if it has to be some form of partnership or whatever it is, you even have to, it's so funny. You have to even know it to the point of even the person's okay, so marital situation. Because here in
Mm.
the Western world where people are into the divorce and all that, and it's like you have to even know the person is divorcee because when the chips are down, hey, it's not your business they'll start to pay for child support, pay for you have to know you
You
have to
have
know
to
the
even know how
details,
many
the financial
mortgages the
situation of the
person
people. Hey, so
has.
like Miss Jennifer said, you need to do your research well. You need to do your research well. Yes. Do we have any other question? Okay, so how do you go? We have a third question, and then I think we would round up, would wrap up. What's how do you go about getting the funds needed to achieve financial independence? How do you
Hmm.
go about getting the funds needed to achieve financial? So let's hear from you, Miss Jennifer.
Okay, so I'm going to say two things. Number one, it depends on the route and the vehicle you want to take to achieve financial independence. There are certain vehicles and certain routes where you're not looking for funding and you can actually build from scratch. There are also certain vehicles and certain routes that require funding. So, first of all, ask yourself, which vehicle do I want to choose? There are certain businesses that are capital intensive, and obviously, you need to be talking about funding. There are also some people who start those businesses and they start to go, but sometimes it's a very slow process before they'll sell one, add up to. But if they have funding, they can actually do high volumes of turnover, right? And then there are certain businesses and certain vehicles for wealth creation that you do not have to start with funding. You don't need funding, you just need yourself and your brain. For the kind of business that I do, I need myself and my brain. I'm not looking at anybody who is going to fund me anywhere. By the time I start to do that, yeah, I can actually ask for funding, but I'm not at the point where I'm desperate for funding, right? If I get funding, there are a lot of things that I'm going to be able to scale at a bigger place and do more. But I'm not at the point where I'm asking for something. So you now ask yourself the question, which of the vehicles do I want to take? And I've also given us an example. There are people who did those businesses that require funding, but they did not, they used their brain. They sat down and they did the math, they did the calculation. There are people who have these goods. I do not have the money, but I know that I can get people who need what they have. And so you keep your goods, I go get people. That's like what you call drop shipping, right? I go get people, I collect the money, I take goods, and I send to them. And before you know it, these people have built massive volume of money. And of course, with discipline, because one thing is to build that volume, and that thing is the discipline to know that you're supposed to be stacking it. You're supposed to be investing it back into the business and starting to say, okay, let me start getting my own place. Okay, let me start buying my own goods. Okay, so let me start asking the right questions. Yeah. So that's what I would have to say about that.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you very, very much, Miss Jennifer. Okay, so before we wrap up, do you have one or two things you want us to take home from this meeting? Like if you were to summarize everything in one sentence or two sentences, what do you want us to take home from this meeting? Thank you.
I want to say that as a woman, there is no limit to how much you can make. There is no limit to how wealthy you can become. Only you are your greatest limitation. Just you alone are your greatest limitation. And if you can take the keys that I have shared with us today and go back and sit back and start to work on them and give yourself time, 5 years plan, 7 years plan, 10 years plan, you will watch yourself. You literally watch your life transform before your very own eyes and beyond your imaginations. Thank you. And thank you for having me. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Dr. Joy. Thank you, the entire EmpowerHer Starlight team. I appreciate it. Dr. Joy, you're saying something. We can't hear you. I think you're
Oh,
muted.
sorry, I was muted. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you very much, Miss Jennifer. We are so happy to have you. Thank you for sharing the wealth of your experience and expertise, and we hope to, to collaborate with you in the future. I have something exciting to say, just like we did in the last webinar we have. So we're gonna have a draw, and someone is gonna get a book. So that book you showed us, can you show us that book again? Someone is going to get that book. So you're gonna get that book. We're gonna have a draw now. So my team, are you ready? Like, do we have the person? Do we have the draw ready? Do we have the? So we're gonna have a draw. Everyone in the room, everyone in the room, we're gonna have a draw, and then one person is going to go back home. Okay, so the one person is going to get the book. So you're going to have it. If you're in Lagos, that's good. You're going to get the book mailed to you. Okay, team members, we have the okay. So we have okay. So we have the winner here. I can see it. Okay, thank you, team. I can see the winner here. So we have a team we have the winner for today's draw, and I can see Oluwabukola Afolabi. Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us. You're gonna get a copy of this book emailed to our team members. One of our team members will keep in touch with you to get your address, and we're gonna forward a copy of that book to you. So I want to say, okay, if you guys are not happy. I can't see the emojis in the chat box. I can't see the clapping. I can't see anything. I can't see anything. Okay. Thank you very much. I know we've spent more than the plan, the time we had. We said late, and we've spent more than the time allocated for the meeting. But indeed, we're very grateful for everyone that took out time to join us. And I want to remind you that this meeting was brought to you by EmpowerHer Starlight Foundation. See, we love you, we are rooting for you, and we want the best for you. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to connect with us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we have a Facebook page, and you can always reach out to us. You can always reach out to us at contact at Empower Her Starlight Foundation. So thank you very much, Miss Jennifer. It was nice having you around. Thank you, despite your busy schedule. Thank you for making our time to join us for the meeting. Okay, we love you all. We are rooting for you. We want you to be the best version of yourself. Thank you very much for joining us in this journey. Okay. Good night, good day, wherever you're joining us from. We love you. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you
thank you
and bye,
very much.
everybody.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you very much, everyone.